You have, in this case, illegal aliens from Venezuela sent here by Maduro who are members of a foreign terrorist organization, Tren de Aragua, an organization that the intelligence community has found is operating at the direction of a hostile, adversarial foreign regime carrying out criminal enterprises to destabilize the political system in the United States. Those are the facts when it comes to TDA. So they're all illegal, they're all gang members, they're all foreign terrorists. And now we are being told that they cannot be expelled from our country without an extraordinary amount of individualized adjudication at the district court, circuit court, Supreme Court, up and down, up and down, up and down. No American citizen receives this level of so-called due process. Because it isn't due process. This is called infinity process to keep you here forever. Yeah. That's what this is.
Oh no, it's crazy.
No American citizen charged with a crime, with a serious crime inside the United States, a U.S.-born American citizen receives this kind of process. Millions of dollars in free legal services, representation at every single level. I mean, do you think that there is any, for example, any American citizen who was persecuted, who was innocent related to January 6th? Do you think they could just get this kind of relief, this kind of process? No. It was never available to them. Yeah. The whole system was rigged against them, just like it's rigged in favor of illegal alien invaders.
That's Stephen Miller bringing the heat, as he always does. And it looks like Trump is not waiting around for the Supreme Court to act to remedy all of this. He's taking matters into his own hands. We've got the latest on how precisely Trump is poised to crush these liberal activist judges, including, if necessary, the Supreme Court. Come on in, gang. Great to see you all here. This is, I mean, it's amazing stuff that's unfolding right before us. Now, as many of you know, the Supreme Court issued a rare midnight injunction over the weekend against the Trump administration. That's what Stephen Miller was literally flipping out over. The Supreme Court is at least temporarily preventing the Trump administration from deporting a number of Venezuelan gang members who are, of course, here illegally. The exact reason for the injunction is not quite clear. It could be part of them putting it together with other cases to form a single larger ruling in the next few weeks. I mean, but Justice Alito thought the ruling was disgraceful. I mean, he even questioned its legality. Same with Justice Thomas as well. Again, we'll have to see how this all plays out at the level of the courts in the next several weeks. But in the meantime, it does look as if the Trump administration has been preparing for precisely this kind of showdown with the courts. But first, let's take a little stroll down memory lane, shall we? Do you remember how liberals were reacting just months ago after the Supreme Court rendered their decision on presidential immunity? Take a look at this.
Democrats had elected people. The Supreme Court is completely his. You know, I mean, it's so disgraceful, this court, that it shouldn't even be allowed to be called the Supreme Court. You know, I mean, it isn't, it's an insult to Motown to call it the Supreme Court. So it's not even a court. It's only a court in the sense that the court of Louis XVI was a court. You know, I mean, basically, it's a harem, okay? It's a harem. It's Trump's harem. So I always feel sorry for the three real judges on the court. You know, I know a lot of people have jobs, not me, not you, and you have to go to work every day, and there are people you don't like at work. But can you imagine having to go to work every day? Alito? You have to go to work with Alito, with Kavanaugh? You know, I mean, it must be horrible. So what Biden should do, not that you asked, but when they passed that law, the Supreme Court passed that ruling, you know, where they said, you're not the president, you're the king, which is what that ruling is. You can do whatever you want. You can never be, you know, held responsible. I thought, you know, Biden's still the president. No one seems to notice, but Biden should dissolve the Supreme Court.
dissolve the Supreme Court?
I'm the president. I'm the king now, like you said, and go home.
I mean, those clapping seals, how pathetic. And we saw that again and again and again after they reversed Roe v. Wade. Actually, every time the court ruled in a way that liberals didn't like, you got more and more Democrats openly saying, we need to pack the court. We need to defy the court. We need to impeach all these judges we don't like. AOC was telling Biden he needed to ignore the court after they shot down the constitutionality of his student loan forgiveness, and on and on and on. And now that the court is ruling in a way that they like, well, now ignoring the court is the single greatest threat to democracy in the history of the republic. Let's be honest, we're not getting any younger. And if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to help with your every health goal, whether it's boosting your energy or trimming belly fat or supporting healthy blood sugar or pumping your testosterone up or even reducing swelling in your legs. Pure Health Research Supplement Store has you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients backed by clinical research and manufactured right here in the good old USA. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount. All you have to do is go to purehealthresearch.com and then use coupon code Turley at checkout. With their 365-day money-back guarantee, there is zero risk in trying something new. So why wait? Head on over to purehealthresearch.com right now, explore their 45 amazing supplements, and save 35% off before this deal ends with coupon code Turley. Don't miss this chance to feel your best. I mean, it's so utterly pathetic. And what it does is it foregrounds the reality that when all is said and done, this is a civilizational battle. This isn't a battle over the courts. This isn't a battle over D.C. This is a battle over the soul of the nation. And the Democrats are going to use every exploitive weapon they possibly can, no matter how inconsistent, to try to desperately, by their fingertips, hold on to the old liberal world that is disappearing right before their very eyes. But again, the good news here is, regardless, Trump is not waiting around for the Supreme Court to act. Now, I've really benefited from the work of Jeff Childers. I'm not sure how to say his last name, so forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Childers. I'll just say Childers to make it consistent if I am. He's a lawyer and a very good legal commentator, and I really like his Substack. It's very informative on legal issues, and he's making the argument that Trump has already long been building a case to have Congress pass a continuing resolution, a CR, that would include suspending the writ of habeas corpus, which has been done historically before. So there's precedent for this. So, and it's I'll just give you his basic argument because I think he's right on here. So if you don't know, habeas corpus gives due process rights to anyone detained by the government and gives anyone jailed an in-person court hearing. It also bars indefinite detention. In other words, the federal government can't just disappear people. And so this is the kind of maddening rulings that we've been getting from these lower courts, these activist judges who are all demanding that all 15 to 30 million illegal migrants have to get due process, which is, and they know this, it's completely untenable. It's completely unfeasible. I mean, it would take literally hundreds of years to fulfill that completely unreasonable, and I would argue unlawful requirement. So there is a constitutional way around that madness. What's so interesting here is that the Constitution prescribes exactly what circumstances habeas corpus can be suspended with. It says it in Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2, that habeas corpus can indeed be suspended in cases of rebellion or invasion. So if the perpetrators are legally designated as invaders then habeas corpus can indeed be suspended. It would be something akin to not having to enact due process before the robber that just broke into your house could be forced to leave, right? Have you seen this meme? There's a great meme that's going around. So a robber breaks into your home, you get your gun out and you chase him out of your house, but then all of a sudden a judge pops up and says, stop, you can't kick him out without due process, right? That's the absurdity that we're dealing here with these activist judges. And that's exactly how Trump looks like he is handling this. According to Article 1, Section 9, habeas corpus can be suspended in the case of rebellion or invasion. And what President Trump did, of course, right at the very beginning of his 2.0 presidency, one of the first EOs he signed was he declared mass illegal immigration a what? What did he declare it? It was an invasion. A state of emergency invasion. He used precisely the term that Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution gives him to suspend habeas corpus. And then, secondly, Trump has, as you know, invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, the act at the heart of a number of these key cases, which invokes precedent for wartime-style legal authority over foreign nationals, bypassing peacetime due process requirements and protections. And so what this lawyer is arguing here is that it does look to him as if Trump has been already these past 3 months setting the stage precisely for the suspension of habeas corpus, which he can constitutionally do, but he needs Congress's approval. This was another insight that this fellow had. Past Supreme Court rulings define the power ultimately to suspend the writ as a legislative power, not an executive power. And so Trump appears to be in the process of setting up Congress to pass the suspension of writ for illegals in their next CR, in their next continuing resolution, which would only require a simple majority vote in the Senate, being a budget reconciliation bill. So that's what this lawyer, Jeff Childers, thinks Trump is doing as we speak. All the signs point to the fact that Trump is completely removing the whole issue of due process entirely from the courts, at least when it comes to the mass deportations. It's a very bold, frankly, breathtaking, 4D, 5D chess strategy. And so in the end, Childers argues that Trump more or less is basically painting the Supreme Court into a corner, and they recognize this. Our good friend Larry Schweikert is seeing that as well. Either get on board, Supreme Court, either get on board defending the country against this invasion in your upcoming decision and suspend the need for due process because of the emergency situation yourself, or Trump is going to take it upon himself and render you irrelevant based on his Article 1, Section 9 powers. That's your choice. Either way, these illegal migrants are going home. They're getting deported by the mass millions. Either way, Trump wins. And this lawyer does think in the end, everything is going to work out in Trump's favor. There's just kind of no way around. It's like watching a chess match and you're seeing checkmate is already baked into the cake. It's just a matter of what moves the opponent makes in order to walk into that checkmate. So Trump will win this. And the days of an activist judiciary, at least when it comes to mass deportations, will finally be a thing of the past. By the way, click on the link in the description below to get all these articles and tweets I reference throughout my videos emailed to you each and every day. You're going to love it. We want you to have the best resources out there to convince your family and your friends of this new MAGA super age that's rising here.